Good morning. Today is September 25th. It is an A day. Today's objective is how many millimeters are in a centimeter? How many centimeters are in a meter? So today we're talking about length and the unit of the metric system and why it's so widely used in the scientific community. It's widely used in the scientific community because it's standard. That means people in China, people in Japan, people in Germany, people in all parts of the world can understand the metric system and numbers. When you're in the scientific community and you're in the field of medicine, you're able to understand how much medicine somebody needs. If you're in a different country and you're taking medication and we're taking things in ounces, that's not going to translate well to the doctors. The doctors only use the metric system. So all of our medication, even the medication you guys take, are all in the metric system. Solids are going to be milligrams, but your liquid measurements are going to be in milliliters. So all of our measurements in medicine are always in the metric system because it has to be universally known throughout the world. So today we're going to discuss how we can make our observations a little bit better, a lot more precise by using the measurement of length. So I need you guys to turn to packet page 6 in your yellow note packet, which looks like this. And you're going to be taking a couple of notes, not that much notes, not that many words you're going to write. Okay, you ready? We discussed a lot of this already, so this is all going to be like a little mini review. Length is the measurement of distance from one point to the next. You will be asked to measure in science length, width, height, all those different measurements, and we're going to most of the time be using rulers. Sometimes you might be using a meter stick if it's longer. But very often we'll be using rulers and they're only measuring centimeters. We do not use inches in science, only centimeters. So your frame of reference, we discussed this earlier, was the width of your pinky. How wide, Simone, is your pinky?
About 1 centimeter?
Yes, about 1 centimeter. Good job. The basic unit of length is a meter. We will discuss prefixes. We talk about this all the time. They're root words and prefixes. In front of meter is a prefix kilo. That's changing the meaning of the word. We discussed this earlier. Kilo means how many meters, ladies and gentlemen? 1,000 meters. So therefore, a kilometer is 1,000 meters. That's easy, right? It's 1,000 meters. So when you're talking about a kilometer in terms of miles, anybody ever do a 5K? You run into 5K? How many miles is that?
3.5.
Less than that, like 3.2 maybe. 3.1.67-ish. It's a little bit more than 3 miles. A kilometer is smaller than a mile, but it's 1,000 meters. So it's hard for our brains to translate that. So we're trying to make frame of references. You have a meter stick on your desk. We looked at it already. How many centimeters are on your meter stick, Angel? How many centimeters are on your meter stick? Go ahead. Somebody else give us the answer. Evan. 100. Angel, how many meters are in a meter stick? Centimeters. There are 100 centimeters. Show me. Prove it. Touch them. I want you to go from the beginning to the end. Read it. What does it say at the last? The last number should be what? 99. But there's enough room for one more pinky. That means there's how many? 100 centimeters. Now, cent. If you had 1 cent, you have 1 out of possible how many cents till you get to $1? 1 out of how many, Jonathan? 100. Centi means 100. How many years are in a century? 100. Do you see how these prefixes? So if you can teach yourself prefixes, if you're familiar with it, you'll do really well in the SATs. You don't have to guess because you can infer. I know what centi means. It's 1/100th of a meter because 1 out of 100 is a centimeter. Millimeters. How many millimeters are on this meter stick? Catherine, how many millimeters are on that meter stick? How many millimeters? So do we want to count them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Is there an easier way to do this? How many millimeters are on a meter stick? Pfeiffer told us earlier that the whole metric system is based on the unit of 10. We said a centimeter is how big? There's 100 centimeters in a meter. Are millimeters smaller or bigger? They're smaller. So are there going to be more or less millimeters in a meter? More. How much more? How many times more? Everything's based on the unit of 10. Let's look at our chart. 1 meter is equal to 1/10 of a meter is a deci. 1/100th of a meter is a centi. Catherine, thousandths of a meter is a milli. So if I want these to equal each other, how many millimeters do I need to make a meter? 1,000. Good job, girlfriend. 1,000 millimeters. How many millimeters are in a centimeter, Joseph? How many millimeters? You want to count them? Here's 1 centimeter. How many millimeters? 1, 2, 3, 10. Good job. Entiende? How is this? Too fast, too slow? Are we at a good pace? Do you understand it better now? Make it more sense? Good. Okay, let's look at the abbreviations. Guess what I forgot to write, Jack? I got kilometer, meter, millimeter. What's the other one that we need? It's probably the one we're going to use mostly in this class. Simone. Centimeter. Good job. So let's write it down. I'm so sorry I forgot to write it. Centimeter. I would like us to write the abbreviations. Pretty easy, right? Okay, Amelia, tell me the first abbreviation. Thank you. What are the letters for the abbreviation for kilometer? Abbreviate it. Thank you, love. Meter, Ciara. Excelente. Millimeter, Grace. Good job. Now notice how K is uppercase, M is lowercase. Lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. What about centimeter? Pfeiffer. Thank you. All right. Now, lollipop challenge. You need to measure A, B, and C. However, you need to tell me the units for A in centimeters, in millimeters, and then kilometers. Tell me how big it is in a centimeter, a millimeter, and a kilometer. The kilometer it's going to be the hard one. And C, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers. Use your ruler. Would you like to do the first one? I won't do the kilometers with you because that's the challenge. Would you like to measure the first one together?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Take your ruler, yellow rulers from your bucket. Let's go. Okay, so letter A, we're going to move our ruler up to it and measure it. Put it all the way to the end. Make sure you're where it says centimeters. Your ruler says centimeters. Do not use the side that says millimeters right now. Use this side. Look at me if you don't know what side of the ruler to use, please. Everybody sees what to do? Yes. Where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It actually says centimeters at the corner. Put your ruler at the corner. You're measuring centimeters. It should be about 12 centimeters and what else? 12.2, 12.3. Some of the rules are a little bit different, so I will accept any number that's in that ballpark. 12.2, 12.3, anything like that is okay. You have 12, and then you have like 1, 2 little smidges more. You have 2 millimeters, 12, and that decimal is an and. It's not a point. Because you have 12 and tiny bit more. How many millimeters more? Now, what did we say was bigger? Millimeters or centimeters? Bigger. Centimeters are bigger. So are there more millimeters or centimeters? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's 10. That's 15. That's 20. So in 1 centimeter, how many millimeters do we have? In 1 centimeter, 10. So in 12 centimeters, how many millimeters do we have? How many, Jonathan? 120. But now we have 2 extra millimeters to count. Good, Demir. 122 millimeters. Excellent job. I'm not going to do the kilometers for you. You can use your chart as a clue if you want. On the bottom, here's your centimeters. Pfeiffer told us each time you move, it's a base of 10. So if I'm going this way, I'm moving 10, 20, I'm not 20, I'm sorry. 10, 100, 1,000, etc. You got the idea? That's the only hint I'm giving you. But there are more millimeters, so use your common sense. Is this number going to be a big number, kilometer, or small? Use your common sense. Is this line a whole kilometer? No. So the number is probably going to be really, really tiny, small. All right, let's do the next one, and then you can do the challenge, or you can do it while we're doing it. Okay, measure the second line, letter B. Line B, how long is line B? Who wants to tell me how long line B is? Go for it, Soph. 8.5 centimeters, 8.5 or 8 and 5/10. Ayami, if it's 8.5 centimeters, how many millimeters is it? You want to count them all, or you can do something simple? You can count them all if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. 22, 23, 30, 40, 50, 60. How many millimeters? Right here, the line. I'm going to count them all with you. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Keep going. 60. Come on, Ayami. 70. Keep going. 80. 81. Thank you. 85. We just ran a marathon. Good job. There are 10 times more millimeters and centimeters. Pfeiffer, what is the base we're using? The base of 10. Thank you. All right, ready? Last one. Who can tell me how long letter C is? I can't get it to stick there. Letter C. Catherine. 5. I think it's a little bit less than 5.5. Is it like 5.2? 5 on the dot? Move it over. Somebody give me a ruler. I got a ruler. I have a ruler. 5. I got an extra. Yes, 5.1. 5.1 centimeters. Catherine, how many millimeters? Excelente. How many people are able to do the lollipop challenge for kilometers? All right, I'm coming around the room to check. Put your answers down. If you're done, answer your pink objective question. I'm going to post this online.